loud. Okay. What the- Hi, everyone. Okay, so we're going to start by looking at if you have on you your April, um, your April pay stub, we're going to compare it to our May pay stub. So just so you know. So why are we here? So our district moved to a new human capital management system. It's called HCM, and they did it because Evil Laco made us do it. So it's true. So the good thing though is that now we can access our pay stubs throughout the year through this employee self-service portal. And we can also access our W-2 forms. So we could get a copy of them whenever we need. We don't have to keep hard copies on us. And I will actually share all of these with you. And you can see that these are links, and this goes directly to and I apologize for my dog. You could go straight to the link in our human resources department website, and it takes you directly to ESS. I highly recommend that you create your own profile under that. So in order to go, you got an email from Brandy Phillips that basically, or I think it may have been Leica who sent it, that basically gave you all the step-by-step directions on how to access the best portal, and it's this one, bestportal.lacoe.edu. So you're going to log into that. They give you a special one-time they're going to give you a special one-time password. And with that special one-time password, you're going to log in and you have to create your own password if you want to change it from that special one-time password. I will remind you, it is important for you to write it down because if you forget it, it's going to lock you out. So put it in a safe place where whatever one you've chosen, make sure that you put that password for that best portal that's going to be the one that you're going to use. I unfortunately use the same one as I use for my SMMUSD mail, and then it locked me out. So it's a good idea for you to use something that's unique and create that. Okay, so log on and then you're able to go in there and play around with it. I actually made sure that my husband's name was on there, his correct phone number, his work number. So I updated some information on there. So it's really cool. So they share this beautiful PDF with us that kind of goes through the different areas. And I want to go over it with you because these are the things that we don't really notice. So if you have your April pay stub next to your May pay stub, you're going to see that all of this is different. So here under one, you're going to see your name and you're going to see your employee number. It has a lot of zeros. The last six numbers are your employee number. And then here you're going to see a lot of other numbers. It gives you the date of this pay stub, which is the May 1st pay stub, and it tells you your district and it tells you the pay frequency. We get our pay monthly. So this actually covers from for our we're getting paid in May 1st for our April paycheck. So your April pay stub is for your March paycheck, right? So we're going to go one by one so that you see it, and notice that I've kept it here so that you keep reminding yourself what we're looking at. So blocks 1 and 2 display your name, employee number, and then it tells you your California withholdings uh, for federal and California. So here's federal and California. Most people put there for themselves, or you could put there if you're a head of household, you and your dependents. Okay. If you're single, you have a choice of doing one or zero. And just so you know, even though I have a family, I do zero. And I say that I'm single because then they take out all the money up front and I don't owe anything. Well, that was the idea. I still owe money though. just so you know. Okay, so uh, under blocks 3, 4, and 5, so we're going to look at this one. These are the ones that are really complicated, okay? Because this is, you're going to be like, what? Am I getting paid enough? So for this month, we asked you just to look at your total and to see, hey, did I get paid similar to what I normally get paid? If the answer is yes, then you were asked, don't call in yet, because they want to make sure that they pay everyone who hasn't gotten paid yet. If you did get paid and then you see all of these numbers under 3, this is where you're going to get really confused. You're going to see that it says regular pay, which is basically based on the where you are in the standing on our salary scale. Then you're going to see holiday, and you're going to see also any stipend you have. So if you have a stipend for, say, your PhD or your doctorate or your master's or a special ed stipend, anything like that will be in this area that is the hours and earnings. Okay. This will tell you the rate according to that, these things that are outlined. And on the fifth one, you see your the actual hours that you were paid for that pay period. Okay, since we had a holiday, we have 12 hours that say that it's part of the holiday. Now, that is a question. Why did they put 12 hours for 2 weeks? Do you guys know that?
Okay, yes, the holiday was actually only for the two approved holidays in the calendar.
Got it.
So
So it's six
and
hours
not
each.
right. Um, However, I found that some school sites maybe forgot to list the holiday. So you would still, so it looks, everybody's still getting paid the same amount for the month, but there's one school, and it's a big school, none of that holiday pay shows up. So that'll be a correction. We're not going to correct it. I mean,
No, no.
next month when there is a holiday, they'll see it. But yes, it's only with those, like, I got the district calendar here. It doesn't focus on it,
Yeah,
but for those approved days for the district's holidays. Yeah.
got it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for answering that. Okay, are there any questions about 3, 4, and 5? If there are no questions, I'm just going to go
Okay,
on.
I got a quick
Is it
one.
good for
If
us
for
when
a full-time
like,
position,
Sorry.
how many hours should there be for the regular pay this month?
I'm sorry, Kristen. There were two people talking. Did you guys hear what she said?
Yeah. The
Oh,
you
what was
so
the question just for those?
so when you look at the hours for the month, what should you expect on it for the regular pay, right? Kristen,
Mm-hmm.
that's what you're asking?
Correct, like how many hours should there be listed for regular full-time teacher?
So it depends on how many days of the month are actually your calendar work days, not including if
But
you
it's in
have
hours, correct?
in hours. If you have, okay, so the first part's hours, and then the second part is the number of days, work days in the month. So, okay, that was April.
So
Now,
I have
see, I'm gonna
88:22. So
see,
what would that
yeah,
be?
and I worked it out the other day and figured it out. Now I'm looking at another person in front of me, and it's different.
Confusing.
Hold on, or maybe
Well, let me keep going and
Could
then
pop in.
can
You
we
keep
go
going.
back to that? Yes. Well,
Yeah,
the most
yeah.
important part that you need to do is that you need to make sure that you see that, first of all, you're getting paid the stipends that you know you're supposed to have. Now, the interesting one is longevity, because we never considered those before. Oscania, do you want to tell us what longevity 1 and longevity 2 mean?
Yes. Okay. So, as you guys know, when you are in group 6, there is a career increment that is assigned to you in step 15 and step 18. So, what we did is we pulled out that career increment and it now became a stipend. So, for anyone in step 15, it's known as longevity 1, and anybody in step 18, it's known as longevity 2.
Great. So then that's why you will see the LONG1 or LONG2 in your pay stub. So again, what you're trying to look for is are all and now under number 3, this little section, do I have all the different ones that I have? Oh, yay! You answered your longevity question. Yay! We did one. Yay! I'm excited. So make sure that you check for any others. Now, let's say you worked, if you're in secondary, and if you worked an extra hour, you covered for a colleague. That would also come across here, correct, Oscania? It would show under 3 for extra
Yes,
hours.
yes.
Okay. And it would
Anything
tell,
extra will be on there as well.
yes. So anything extra will be on this, and you will see what the rate is. So I think it's about $66, something like that for the teacher hourly. And then it'll tell you how many you got, and it'll give you the total right over here. Okay? All right, let me move on. And then we can go back to the how do we know how many hours we got paid for in this month after we do the math. Okay, so then on block 6, so now we're going to go to this one. This one is the benefits that we get from our employer. So these are all paid by our employer. This is, it could be unemployment, our STRS, this is where you're going to see your insurance, your Delta Dental, your CIS life insurance if you have it, the VSP, workers' comp, and then OPEB ER. And again, what does OPEB ER mean? Julie or Oscania?
Yeah, I should be quick on that one. Hold on.
Sorry, I know we
I apologize. I know what it means, but I can't remember what it stands for. So I think I want to do what I'm going to do after this, everyone. I'm going to give you guys a list of all because I think that was a question from Tashia. Oh, no, that was from Amy. Yes. Amy would like just kind of like a glossary of what are the different categories and what do they mean. So I think we might want to um, work on that. But again, these are all employer pay that your employer pays this, and you'll see how much they took out this month, and then YTD means year to date. Okay. And we'll get back to OPEB. Okay, under 7, this is your before tax deductions. So what you're going to see here is if you pay a little extra into your Medi-Cal, into your, not Medi-Cal, but your insurance so that you could get the insurance, the Anthem PPO, which is 90%. Hi, there's my friend behind us, Kanya. Tell him I say hi. Okay, that money would be coming, would show here. You also have like your STRS membership and your life insurance that we pay through CISC, and that says 0 for the current because you're not paying for that. It's actually our employer who pays for it, and then the total is here. If you pay a little extra because you wanted to get that deal that we could pay a little extra for a small amount of money, that'll show here. So this money comes out of your gross income before taxes are taken out. So let me stop there. Are there any questions?
I have a question. It's Amy.
Hi, Amy.
Hi.
Great show, by the way.
Oh, thank you. In that section, I have one called Other.
Other, under before tax deductions?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you have perhaps a flexible spending account?
Yes.
Do you see the flexible spending account anywhere else?
In that column, I have STRS member, I have Anthem Blue Cross, I have 403B, I have AmFid pre-tax.
Uh-huh.
This,
That's my
sorry,
Fidelity, but then
Uh-huh.
other.
this is what we found that we may just have to give you a copy because we found that when we view it, it will break it all down. But, or even if you download it, if you try the ESS version to download it and you see it on the screen, it'll break down everything. But when, probably for size reason of the paper, for the official kind of stubs you get, it compacts, the squares are smaller. So it will add a couple things into other.
Okay.
So yeah, the ESS version should have everything.
Yes, Amy, I just downloaded your check and it does break everything down line by line. So our main suggestion is download the full check, please, so you guys can see all the breakdowns.
Okay.
That's totally interesting. I did not know that. So again, what I think you should also look for is if you're seeing that things were taken out before, but you did not get a deduction this time, and you have a year-to-date total on your before, like for instance, if you have a flexible spending account and you see that you've been taking it out of every check and suddenly you see that it wasn't taken out of this check, that's a good thing for you to call or to go to one of those office hours to kind of find out, did they deduct this for me in this past month, because we want to make sure that you stay current. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, let's go to the next one then. Oh, and now it doesn't want to move. Okay. Oops. Now I moved too fast. Okay, so if we go to number eight is right here. This is the easy one. This is all of the taxes that are taken. So these were all employer paid, you paid before taxes. Now these are all the taxes, okay? And then after your taxes, you see what you pay from your net, right? So in this little one, you're going to see other things like credit union deductions. If you have one of those accounts where you put some deductions in there, if you put supplemental life insurance like CTA life insurance, or if you have the CTA, sorry, if you see CTAEE, that is our association dues, your state disability premium, any medical, dental, and vision premiums, again, flexible spending accounts. And then I found that SMC Foundation is actually SMEF, but they called it SMC. Interesting. So questions about number eight? No. We're killing it. Killing it. Okay, so this is the one that I've gotten at least 8 calls about. The block 10, because this is where it tells you your leave balances. So this is how many days do you have of sick leave, right? So if you look here, you can kind of see that it says 132.48. Now, it's not days. This is listed as hours. And according to the way we are paid, one day for us is equivalent to 6 hours. So it's really important for you to know that, because you're going to take that total and you're going to divide it by 6. So if you have 130, oh, sorry, if you have 1,232 hours, you actually have 205 days and point 0.4 of a day. Does that make sense? So what you can do if you're not sure how many days, if all the days were transferred, again, you could go to your April pay stub, see if you have, let's say 10, right? If you have 10 days listed And then in this one, you have 80, sorry, you have 60. You realize, oh, I see, it's 60 hours because I have 10 days. If I divide that 60 by 6, I will get 10. Does that make sense for everyone? I guess so. And that is it. That is your paycheck. Woohoo! Okay, now you get to ask any questions that you have for the lovely. So just let me introduce them to you. Julie Beckloff is the most brilliant payroll person in the whole entire world. I love her. And Andrew is here, but he's just a friend who we love and we appreciate very much for all he does. And we don't want to ask him any questions. We'll ask Julie. And Oscania Maravilla, she is the HR guru. She knows everything about everything. So if you guys have any questions about your pay stub, this is the time to do it. You could write them in the chat if you want to. See? Isn't that fabulous? They have no questions. We're so perfect. You answered everything. There we go. Okay. So thank you, Chris. Do you mind
Yeah.
repeating the logging information for the latecomers? Absolutely. So what you need to do, you need to go back to the I think it was April 27th, something like that. You got an email from Laco. It tells you these are your instructions and your password to get into laco.best, and you're gonna I literally printed out those instructions and I follow them bit by bit so that I could get in. And once you are able to do that, you are gonna get into the LACO website, the HCM, and you can download and you can see all of your information in there. You can download your pay stub and you see all of your important information like who's your beneficiary, should anything happen. It's all in there. And if you have any questions, I think we have more Zoom office hours, and they also said they recommended that we call who do we call if we can't get into the best? Julie or Oscania?
They can
It,
send an email to us and we are
yeah.
forwarding them over to LACO. We do have I think, I don't think this communication's been gone out, but I think we are looking at Friday 9 to 1 to have office hours.
Friday 9 to 1 office
Mhm.
hours. But Amy, I promise you, I'm a tech immigrant and I was able to log in. So you know you can do it, girl. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, woohoo!
Well,
See?
real quick though, we're going to circle back to the question about hours and regular
Yes.
pay. So yes, you're right. I mean, it is hours and minutes. It should be. Everybody has enough people have different calendars. So like teachers had 14 days. Most people would have the 6 hour job. So you would have to do the multiplication, but it's not going to be perfect if you got to add because you have to put in the holiday. If you had sick pay, um, you kind of add that all up. I'm kind of at this point telling people, look at your total earnings. Is your gross pay correct? That's
And what she means by
the-
total earnings is this one right here.
yeah, yeah. And then as you add them all up, if you go all the way to the bottom, go down right next to that 6, to the left of the 6.
Right here?
No, to the left. Still in the
Oh, right
white. Yes,
here.
there. Yes. That is your gross earnings. So while right now your hours may not make sense up there, if that gross earnings is what you normally get in a month, then you're good.
Oh, yes. And what does OPEB ER mean?
Yeah. Other post employment, it's like retirement stuff. It's not really like STRS, but it's other post employment employee benefit. Looking at our old paychecks, it was all just listed as OPEB as well. I don't know like the minutia of it.
So were
I don't,
the same categories used again? Because I feel like some of them are a little bit different.
they are, if it was things like the taxes, that's
Yeah,
just,
those are the
yes,
same.
that's going to be the same. It's anything of the other kind of
Like the Santa
benefits.
Monica Ed Foundation may be different.
Right. We were choosing, they kind of gave us, this is what you can have, and how do you want to title it, and or choose something that we've in this drop menu sort of thing in a crosswalk. And so that's why at times you see something very different from what we're used to.
Okay.
Yeah. They being Laco.
Okay, Lulu, Lindsay, I don't know who Zoom user is. Any other questions that you might have? No.
Not at the
Any-
moment, but after I go through things, maybe I will have questions.
Okay, so there will be office hours via Zoom, and there's someone sitting there the whole time that you could call, and if they can't answer it, they will help you figure out how to contact, or they're going to contact Laco for us to get the answers for you. Okay?
When are they going to send those office hours?
I think tomorrow, no, sorry, Friday is usually when we get the update from Brandy Phillips as to when the office hours are for the following week.
Okay. Can you one more time go over longevity?
Yes. Um, so longevity for you teachers is when you have hit group 6. So if you see longevity 1 on your paycheck, it means you are an employee who's on group 6, step 15. If you see longevity 2, it means you are a group 6, step 18 employee. So in the previous system, it was all embedded into your salary. Here we had to pull it out. That's why you see that career increment as a longevity now.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Let me share for you. Um, it actually is in our certificated salary schedule, but we never really looked at that until now. Um, so if you look, oops, let me make this a little bit better. If you look at this, you can see that we have career increments. So step 15, the career increment is 39.26 upon completion of 3 years. So after 12, 13, 14, 15, we go up, right? And it's about 3,926. And then after career increment 15, we have another big chunk. So what this is telling you is that you have step 15. This one is called um, it's called longevity 1 if you're in step 15. If you are in longevity 2, that means making more than the step 18, you're going to see longevity 2 um in your pay rate. Do you see that? And then these are the other things that I was telling you about. You could have a degree increment, you could have your master's, your doctorate, you could have special education stipend, speech and language pathologist stipend, immersion teacher stipend. So here's a coordinating nurse stipend, the school nurses stipend, the national board. I think this is the correct one. Yeah, effective
You're
July
good.
25. Yes. So I was like, I hope I'm using the right one. So these are all of the ones that this is where they took them from, and they now appear in that hours and earnings box. That if we go back to my presentation, um, it here, let me see. This is the big one. Yeah, it'll be in this area in number 3. So this is where you want to go. And I think would they probably put other here if there's too many? They might, right? So if you have a lot of them and you see other, you might want to go onto the best and download the long version of your pay stub so that you could see all of the different things that you've been paid.
Do,
Okay?
do you mind if we touch on ESS real quick? Because we've gotten calls. So when you're looking for your paycheck stubs, it's April, the month of April, so your May 1st check and on. Anything prior doesn't exist in HCM. Also, other people have been looking for their past W-2s in HCM. That won't be there, of course. You'll see your 2026 one sometime in January 2027. Okay, this is important. If you haven't already done it, do it in ESS on the compensation page. Scroll all the way down to the bottom. There's a box on the right. Opt into the downloadable version of your W-2. Because if you do not do that, you have to wait for payroll to run the reports, figure out who didn't opt into it, and then we have to mail it to you. We don't know what that's going to look like yet, but that's going to be the scenario. So please opt
So,
into the
so that would be a
downloadable.
really good thing for me to add to my communication when I send this out.
Yeah, because otherwise it's, LACO's mailing nothing. It's all payroll doing it.
And and am
And
I
if
correct to assume that our last paper pay stub that you will be printing out for us is this June?
that's what I've been told initially, our management in here hasn't confirmed that since we've started. So that's like a TBD probably, or maybe we down here haven't gotten the information yet as a definite.
Okay. All right. Well, I want to thank you all for being here. I'm going to stop recording. Thank you so much for